So where do we start today?
Are we starting?
I think we're starting.
Okay, welcome to the Birdhole. We're just hanging around here, not doing too much, filling it out, seeing what we can do. A lot of big things in the news. A lot of trips going on. Going to Vegas, coming back from Vegas, going to Vegas, going to Dallas, sleeping there for 3 days, coming back, going to Atlanta, renting a car and driving in. You know what I mean? That kind of deal.
Are you asking me to tell this story?
Yeah, tell that story, Frank.
So we went to Vegas for your birthday.
Yeah, birthday time.
Great trip. It was a lot of fun.
Always a lot of fun. Love Vegas. Hell yeah.
You guys made it back okay. And you actually, I think your flight was later than mine.
Yeah, it was late. Came back at 7 o'clock. Flew in. And the pilot, we're going to call him Pontius Pilot, because he was like the bringer of death. He'd seal your fate. What a pilot. This guy came in 30,000 feet, dropped the plane, just sheets of ice. Southwest, no plane was going. It looked like...
you landed in like 2 feet of snow or something?
Yeah, it looked like, what's that planet in Star Wars?
The ice planet Hoth? Is that what you're referring to?
Hoth. Yeah, it looked like Hoth. So we bring this droid down, man. He sits it down. Snow, ice. There was like 3 feet of ice just landing it on it. And didn't even move. Landed it. Reverse thrust. Stopped it. Got off the plane. No problem except driving home, you know. It was good. You can think.
Meanwhile, here I am. My flight was actually earlier than yours.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, coming back, I don't know, it's just like my luck with American Airlines. Yeah, pretty typical, I'd say, for American. What happened? I had a layover in Dallas, which is fine. Like, it's on the way to Nashville.
Yeah.
Cut the trip into, 2 shorter flights, whatever.
It's an easy 13-hour drive from there.
Well,
just easy enough.
Just easy enough, maybe in good weather. Get on the plane. Or no, what happened? I get on the first plane, get to Dallas, then the flight keeps getting delayed, get canceled. It's like 1:30 in the morning at that time. They don't offer anything. I sleep in the airport. It's I don't know, that airport was probably built in like the 70s. So it's very cold. Time. They don't have there's like no heat in the terminal.
Mm-hmm.
I try to get on another plane first thing in the morning, keeps getting delayed. And then, I got on the plane and then we taxied for 4 hours, then got off and I was at a different gate. And then eventually it got canceled later in the day. Finally got a hotel. So like 2 days had gone by at this point. And then it was going to be like another day and a half. And then they were going to try to fly Wednesday when my initial flight was on Sunday. And then what happened? I don't even remember. This was like a week ago now, and it's all blurred because it was so miserable.
Mm-hmm. But
you
got to run around.
Yeah.
You came and then looking like a wet dog getting out of the river.
Yeah, when I finally got back.
Yeah, you got your 3-week beard going on. Your hair was wet for some reason I don't know.
I think it was all the ice and snow. But yeah, so I didn't even fly back to Nashville. I told them just send me to Atlanta because they kept delaying my other flight. And if it was like the last one, I didn't want to take like a 50-50 shot at missing a day of work because I was like stuck in another state still. So then I flew to Atlanta and then drove 3.5 hours back with a rental car. So that was
you should have. It was
fun.
You should have stayed on Young Thug's couch.
But I will say the Lions win that weekend. It was fine. I was happy with that. And then getting to see the Dallas Cowboys lose in Dallas was It was like it was a good.
I can't wait to see the Lions.
That's just that. I think that trip and the travel issues involved were just the cost of
paying the ass.
Yeah, it was just the price
it takes
to pay,
3 months to recover from that.
Yeah, about a quarter.
Yeah, we need a hyperbaric oxygen taper to put you in for a couple weeks to get you back to life.
Yeah,
that's what I feel like I need sometimes. Reestablish that nitrogen back in the blood.
Yeah,
just dissolve it. Feel it in your lungs, your brain. Your brain runs off nitrogen, right?
Oh, it does, totally, right?
It's pretty much the passive chemical.
Well, I guess we're kind of on a plane topic right now, aren't we?
Yeah, we're on some exciting topics.
What, you were flying earlier today?
Yeah, I was taking a flight lesson.
How'd it go?
Pretty good. Just working on ground controls. You want to rudder right when you leave the plane.
because you got the
P factor. Because there's a spinning prop on there. You got a giant fan.
What if you're flying a dual engine plane though?
You don't have to worry about it. It's easier, much easier.
You should just fly planes with multiple engines. Then.
You can get. They say you can get an F-18 right now. I have no knowledge and just wear it out.
Is that what they say?
It's easy. The thrust will take care of anything. You can pretty much drop it and just hit it, and you're good. It's that easy. Automatic landing, automatic takeoff. It's just cake, man. It's easier than driving a smart car. See, then you gotta worry about lag. There's no lag in a jet.
You think you could parallel park a Harrier?
Yeah. It's easy. You have dimensions. In a car, you're just on a plane here.
Yeah.
You have, in a plane, you have 4 dimensions. You have up and down, which is nice. Mm-hmm. In 5D, you got smell vision.
You tell me you don't have to control a yaw in a car?
Yeah, you can control some yaw. It depends what kind of car you drive. You ever drive one of them old, like, Broncos where you're just bouncing?
It's like an old Buick.
Put the tip down. Yeah, you put the tip down. Get that wind resistance. You don't want to take off in a headwind because you might just go up.
Yeah, those weren't the most aerodynamic of vehicles, right?
Mm-hmm. You come down on a tailwind on a Buick Envoy, you never know what you'll hit. Skid off.
Specifically a Buick Envoy.
Oh, God. It's a tough car, man.
They're known as the best handling of all vehicles ever, I think, right?
I think I'm in the market for a Buick or either a Buick or a you remember that car they made called the Cougar?
Yeah.
That's what I want from my next car.
You should get like a Pontiac Bonneville or something.
It'd be cool, man. What's another good car they don't make anymore? We had the Cougar.
Pontiac Aztek, if we're sticking to Pontiac.
Yeah, I'm going to get a Mercury.
I think they should bring the Pontiac Aztek back as an EV hot take for 2024.
Maybe a Mercury Sable.
Okay.
You know, my grandmother bought a Mercury new 5 years ago.
Really?
How do you believe they got that? They had one in stock. Still the body style from the old Oldsmobiles.
That's pretty cool, actually.
I know. If you were a policeman, what car would you drive?
Like on duty or off duty?
On duty. If you had to establish a fleet.
Oh, like I was the police chief and I was in charge of.
Yeah, they said give me some cars. You get cars from any era, unlimited budget.
Ooh, I don't know. What would you say?
I don't know, man. It's a tough one. What are the toughest? Would probably the Crown Victoria, right?
The Crown Vic, like I think that's the difference between millennials and Gen Z.
You get pulled over. Have you ever been pulled over in a Crown Vic? I have.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool,
everyone
right?
has. Yeah. Nowadays, kids don't know the fear of seeing the Crown Vic like on the highway median, like pulling out behind you, and you don't know if they're coming after you or they're just pulling out.
It's a Ford Explorer now. That's who pulls you over. Big old SUV.
Yeah.
Not the same. Not the same, man. I don't know, man.
So what's going on? Back to the plane thing. This Boeing stuff's getting a little interesting.
It's pretty sweet, man. They have convertible packages. It's like a T-top.
Quick deploying convertible packages.
You got to pay extra for the T-top, man. The 767 Max. It just comes out on you.
They've had some bad. I don't want to say bad luck with the 737 Max because I think a lot of that is just some oversight.
Yeah, Boeing. It's a great American company. They've kept us alive. Provide our defense services. So I don't think. When's the last time a 747 crashed in the U.S.? It was probably Alaskan Airlines, right?
Yeah, when was that?
2006.
Something like that,
like that. So they've had a good track record.
Yeah,
the only ones have been there's been some shot down, some hijacked, but for the most part, Boeings are stable, man. You can't say that.
I think Boeing, the history of the company is kind of. I think they have a long legacy of. They're kind of the American,
reliable
jet company, but it's, I don't know. I think you kind of see that corporate shift to, like in the past, they really, really valued their engineers and their technical staff. And, I just think they had, things have gone a little different direction because everyone, I don't know. You just need more technical people in leadership roles in some of these companies, I think, to keep people alive. It's just the reality of the situation.
If you're asking me, I loaded up on a bunch of stock for the Douglas company. I think they're coming back. Or McConnell, maybe. There's an opening. Man, it's, I mean, do you think Airbus will ever have a take in the U.S.? Do you think they'll start moving them over? And
Well,
where Airbus is made? Somewhere in Europe?
Yeah, I don't know what. I do know that.
Are they Scandinavian?
I don't know what the country of origin of Airbus is, but I think they're European.
Luxembourg.
But the other thing, too, is like Airbus makes plenty enough of a competitive product, but because of, lobbying and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're never going to see them
You're not going to see enough of them in the U.S.
No. I've ridden both.
Yeah.
I prefer the ride on a 737.
I think the Airbus has better overhead bin space, so you don't have to check your bags and lose them, and get them like a week later. Like,
yeah, you never check a bag in. I don't care.
Sometimes you don't have a choice, though. They try to make you.
Yeah, I ain't gonna do it. I'm gonna stand up for my right. We're not gonna check in bags. Throw me off. You just reel out that little blow up bridge or that slide, and I'm jumping out. It's fine.
The emergency escape slide.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to say, man. I think Boeing. Nobody got hurt. When that thing opened, you think somebody would have got hurt, but they didn't.
Yeah, luckily there was nobody in that row.
Seat.
Yeah.
Do you think they would have got hurt if they were there?
Yeah, there's people I think who have had that happen where even though they haven't been like completely, like they haven't been sucked out of the plane, like if you have air moving at your, across your face at 550 miles an hour, that's
probably feels good like a dog. Stick your tongue out.
Stick your tongue.
Stuck his head out the window. Stuck his tongue out. Some little beagle. Some yappy beagle. The thing, when you load a plane, that's the exit aisle, right? That flies open. That's the emergency exit aisle, right?
The one that flew up. Yeah.
So the one you have to sign an oath before you ride on it. You're going to help everybody.
They have to.
And if you ever go down there and you see who's in there, you would not trust them with your life.
No.
Have you noticed that seat being more vacant lately? Like when you're boarding a plane.
Oh, I have. Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I like that row. But that's interesting that people think about it.
Yeah.
It's usually the people that probably wouldn't get sucked out, honestly, because they need more leg room. They'd probably just like plug the hole, like some goop. Be fine. Reestablish cabin pressure. Land that bird. Sitting there. Yeah, I'll help. If the plane goes down, I'm gonna help.
Yeah, I don't know. The airline industry, man, it's just not a. It's probably, I don't know. What
amazing.
What industry do you think is less accountable than the airline industry?
The airline industry is very accountable.
No, well,
the
airlines themselves, though, like
overselling
flights and
that's true.
All that stuff. The airlines themselves don't establish any of the safety stuff. That's all the FAA.
That's all FAA is amazing.
The FAA is very accountable.
We love the FAA here at Birdhole.
They do a great job.
Amazing job. Yeah, I mean, you think about the flight took off, early, late 19th century, like 1900, right? And then we had jets in the 40s.
How long was it from the Wright brothers until the first jet was flying around?
It was like 30 years.
It's insane.
It was like the first jet was 39 or something?
Something like that.
40?
Like late, yeah.
In Germany. So the progression of that to what we have, where you can sit in a tube and be in Vegas in 2.5 hours from Nashville. No repercussions. Don't even think about it. Watch Netflix. You're there. That, to me, is the most amazing thing.
Yeah, it's pretty
Try
awesome.
not to take that for granted. I want to look over and see those turbines churning.
Yeah.
See them up in the air, flying across the mountains.
Yeah.
Going across the Oregon Trail. Trail of Tears. Just sitting back there watching Netflix, man. Having a good time. Eating that Southwest Chex Mix.
Chex Mix.
Mm-hmm. They don't give peanuts anymore.
No.
Which used to not happen. People used to not be allergic.
But
you think that's human society evolving? Peanut allergy? Is that the precipice? Is that the...
I don't know. We'll have to do a little meta-analysis of allergies and stuff and come back and discuss that at some point, I feel like. It's interesting, all the...
Yeah, it is. IgI8.
So what else is going on?
Not too much. trying to follow golf. It's hard. You got Live. You got PGA Tour.
So what's like the deal with the merger now? Where are we at with that?
I think they're trying to figure something out.
Everyone seems to be saying that they think it's more likely to happen at this point than not.
You have to. I mean, the PGA Tour is squirming trying to get something. They still say they're the best golf, but when everybody's leaving, you can't. You know, when you're dealing with almighty dollar, what are you gonna do, man?
You can't beat like the history of the PGA Tour though, and all of that. The issue is, I think if they position themselves better and were paying the players better, you know, you wouldn't have seen this kind of situation unfold the way it did.
Yeah, I mean, it really brings that to light because you're the PGA Tour, you're the best people play in the world. There's some marquee tournaments.
But talent follows money, you know?
Yeah, the marquee tournaments, like you've seen the Farmers, you see PGA, Pebble Beach, the Pro-Am. And you see these marquee events that used to be a big draw. Everybody in the year would watch. You know, you remember back in the day, you'd watch Pebble Beach, you watch Tiger and Phil battle out. It doesn't happen anymore, man. It's kind of like a second-rate field, you know what I mean? Even the marquee players of the PGA Tour, a lot of them don't play. You look at Waste Management coming up, and I don't think Victor's playing. I don't think Xander's playing.
It's a bummer, too, because like it's always such a good tournament.
Such a good tournament.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see. I mean, I don't know if things will be gravitating more towards the majors now. I mean, that's always how it has been.
I think it always has been, but it's going to be – I think it's going to make that even worse now.
You even look forward to it now because you don't see half these players in the fields till the majors. Yeah. It's really the only true test, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the Masters being the best of it, you have, you know, truly the best golfers in the world there. It's interesting to see because the top 50 rankings are so skewed now. Mm-hmm. Because they have...
You don't get world ranking points from anything in Live, right?
You don't get anything. So you look at the top 50 right now in the world, and you have Grayson Murray, who's top 50. Played good, won a tournament, but some guy who was probably, you know, 1,000th in the world at one point within the year, wins one tournament. You have Nick Dunlop, who's an amateur. He was a sophomore at Alabama. Now he's 60th in the world.
Yeah.
70th, something like that. Something crazy. So the world golf rankings are continually just... you know, skewed from this because you don't have Rahm getting points. You don't have Koepka getting points.
Yeah.
You don't have, you know, name your Live player. You're not getting points. So things tend to trickle down.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's going to be interesting because they're having European Tour players. They're having the DP Tour players who are really good. You had Beauregard. You had the French guy who won, you know, a couple weeks ago. What's his name? Anyway,
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
You know, you got him, and you got Matthew Pavon, you got Aberg who was over there, over in Europe playing, and so they're trying to bring the best of the DP World players back in the PGA Tour and kind of fill that void. You know.
Yeah, it's kind of. How do you think it compares to like all the NIL money and like college football and stuff now? It's kind of like a similar thing. It kind of really threw a whole – I mean, like, really the NCAA shouldn't have ever blocked that stuff to begin with. But now it's really kind of shaking things up because, you know, if some kid that's a top recruit could go play at, like, some smaller school, but for some reason, mathematically, it makes more sense for the – like, going pro doesn't matter as much now if you have a big college career, but you're getting – Subway endorsements or whatever, you know.
Yeah,
like
there's guys making $1 million. They're still in college, and rarely, you know, oftentimes a really good college career doesn't pan out to be a professional career.
Yeah, it doesn't always. All it takes
football,
is an injury.
you take money when you can.
Yeah, oh for sure.
So
I mean, long careers in professional football that's a unique thing.
Not for long, you know what I mean. I was playing golf with the punter. He's a good college punter, college kicker, place kicker, and he, you know, he got offers from Oklahoma. This was last Sunday. Offers from Oklahoma, South Carolina, Arkansas. He took Temple because he got some good NIL cash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if he can go to the NFL, you know, you can go to the NFL from any team. It doesn't matter these days. But you kind of go where the money is.
Especially with social media, too. You can get a little more exposure without having to play at Alabama or Michigan or something like that. You know?
It helps. The whole scape of professional football is changing. It's going to be interesting to see. You know, you're going to have people that are older that's sitting there. You have kids that are 25 playing college football, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What about what's the deal with like the XFL? They combined with What's the other league?
The WWE.
No, sort of. Not really though.
Yeah.
I mean, The
Arena
Rock
football?
owns them, but yeah, right. Whatever the other league is, the U.S. football
American
league,
Football
American
League?
Football League. Yeah, whatever. I don't know, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, that'll be. I don't know how. I don't know. We'll see what that's like.
I think you can try out, make a position as a
We could try
fullback.
out. Yeah, I could be a fullback.
Yeah, I could see it.
You could be a corner.
Corner,
You're fast.
really fast, like lightning. Wide receiver, good hands.
I could be like the sole fullback that like pushes through the pile for the brotherly shove equivalent of whatever team I end up on.
Kyle Juszczyk for the 49ers. You know him?
Yeah,
Yeah, he does it all.
we should go to the XFL tryouts.
We're thinking about it.
We
It'd be a
should
good
train for
YouTube
it.
video.
It would be.
Local man tries out for XFL tryouts. Be like that story of, you remember that Eagles player, Mark Wahlberg?
Which one?
You remember when Mark Wahlberg made the Eagles squad?
No,
You don't remember that movie?
it's a movie.
Yeah, he was just a drunk in a bar. All of a sudden,
It's not based on a true story, is it?
it's a true story, man.
No, there's no
It
way.
was true. He was special teams runner for the Eagles. He was in bars getting drunk, hammered, and they said, "Hey, man, we see how you're playing flag football. Come play with us." Let him in.
Flag football is going to be in the Olympics in 2028. Now, did you see that?
That's gonna be stupid.
That'd be kind of cool, though. I think America's going to really shine when it comes there.
The flag football.
Yeah.
Who we have playing for us? Is it gonna be like Terrell Owens?
Probably like
Snagging?
Tyreek Hill and I don't know, who would you put as quarterback for flag football?
Flag football?
Yeah.
I'm going Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, because he could run if he has to. Yeah.
Yeah, he does
Makes
it all.
sense.
That's a flag football player.
Yeah.
He'd be the best flag football quarterback of all time. Michael Vick, maybe.
Maybe like Gronk and Edelman come out of retirement and play.
Yeah, Gronk, maybe. You'd almost want to fill your
Have
team
like
with slot
Gronk-
receivers.
Like Gronk, Calvin
There's no
Johnson,
blocking. Randy Moss.
Barry Sanders. Have Barry Sanders go out there.
Yeah.
How old
I
is he
mean,
now? Just juking people, you know?
Who's Barry Sanders? He's like 50 now.
Yeah, something like that.
55.
Yeah, probably.
What? Can any other country hold their own in flag football?
So I was watching the International Flag Football Championship about a week ago, and they look pretty good, but I don't think it would compare to Americans playing football.
No, this is what we do.
Yeah. Gridiron football.
Should chess be in Olympics?
Chess? I don't know. You know what I always thought was weird as an Olympic sport is like equestrian. Because the horses, I mean, like
The horse does all the work.
The horse is doing the work. You're training, and you're obviously it's like a 2-part thing, but it's like you and an animal. So like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's an interesting.
Where I
thought.
grew up, we call that bestiality.
What would you like to see as an Olympic sport that isn't one?
That isn't one?
Cornhole,
No, it's too stupid. Dumb.
darts,
Wait,
Olympic darts.
dumb.
Uh,
I like seeing golf back in there. That's important.
golf is important. It's just golf's interesting.
MMA probably.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Mixed martial arts. No rules. You got to knock the other person out.
Bare knuckled MMA,
Bare knuckle boxing would be cool too.
or what was that Russian slapping championship?
Slapping, it'd be reasonable to
The
watch.
Russian slapping league, but just as an Olympic sport.
Yeah, maybe poker.
Poker as an Olympic sport.
Or slots.
Olympic slots.
Olympic slots. Get the juice going, baby. Yeah.
There's a lot of good ideas there, I think.
Yeah, there's something to work with. One Olympic sport could be removed. Equestrian, maybe.
I feel like we could. That's how you get yourself canceled.
Getting the horses out of there.
Well, I'm just saying bad mouth in any sport, saying it shouldn't be in the Olympics.
That's hard, man. What Olympic sport do you like the most? Basketball?
But it's like you always just know the U.S. is going to win.
Maybe. What? Who won? Didn't Spain beat them 1 year?
Did they?
Yeah.
When was that?
I don't know. 2008, something like
Maybe, I don't know. Well, 9 times out of 10.
Yeah. What about
the cool thing about the Olympics, though, is you get to see a lot of sports that you don't really see during the year otherwise.
Yeah, like swimming.
Yeah.
Swimming's a good one.
Swimming's also like when you have somebody like Michael Phelps, all of a sudden like your country's stacked because he's going to go win like 9 medals.
Yeah, that Serbian guy who beat him.
Oh, yeah.
And they counted it against him.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of cool Olympic sports. I mean, I was on the fencing team in college.
Do you still think you ever could have made the Olympics for fencing?
I mean, maybe if I committed my entire life to it, maybe.
Do you have aspirations for being on the Olympic team when you were fencing?
No, not really. I mean, it would have been sweet, but like I had other priorities, like going to med school and.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
How many people are on a fencing team, guys?
So usually, like for the college teams, it's, you have your like 3 disciplines. There's like saber, epee, and foil.
What were you?
And I fenced saber. So
that's a cool one, right?
Yeah, I mean it's a fun sport to watch. And it's one of those ones where like random people learn a little bit about it during the Olympics because that's when they see it on TV, or when you catch me on ESPN The Ocho every once in a while.
Yeah.
But just kidding. But not every once in a while, just maybe once. But
yeah.
Yeah. So usually, like at a fencing meet, you'll have like 3 people for each of those disciplines, and you basically kind of fence like 3 other people from like an opposing school or whatever.
Yeah. So tell me about like how was working out for. How's training for fencing?
All I know is if I had NIL money when I was in college for
you could have got some?
Oh, I could have gotten like $40 from like the local grocery stores.
Showing your ass off. A gift card from Lululemon.
Yeah, man. If I was on the cover of NCAA fencing 2011, my life would have been different.
That would have been pretty cool. We'll go into it.
I used to be able to throw a pigskin over the mountains right there.
Did you guys used to work out for fencing?
Oh yeah.
How'd you work out?
Usually like twice a day. We'd go. We usually have like practices in the evening. And we'd have like morning workouts.
What did you do for a morning workout for fencing?
A lot of it was cardio, a little bit of lifting and stuff. So that was, the mornings were typically like your workouts, like that kind of stuff. Go to class during the day. And then typically after class at night, we'd, do drills and fence for, a few hours. I mean, it's pretty time consuming. I mean, it was a lot of fun. And traveling.
You fenced for 4 years?
Yeah, like the whole time I was in college, I fenced.
What was the longest you traveled to go to a fencing meet?
So we used to go, I don't know, probably somewhere like the East Coast stuff. Like we've been to like New York and stuff like that.
You guys take a plane?
No, we had a bus. Yeah. So, and we'd go to like North.
Was it a nice bus?
Yeah, it was like a nice like tour bus.
How were trips with the fencing team?
Oh, they're fun. We used to go to places, eat, a bunch of food at restaurants. I mean, that's like where my brain goes.
Was it paid?
Yeah, all that stuff. But yeah, we'd go to like Northwestern every year.
In Chicago?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but a bunch of cool trips like that.
What's the worst injury you've ever seen from fencing?
That I've heard about. There's been multiple accounts of like people getting speared through the heart and dying, but that was like more like the most recent one that I knew of. I think was in like the 90s. There was.
How sharp is the thing?
It's not sharp, but if the tip breaks off and you don't realize it, now you just have like a spear that you're spearing through somebody.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I'd say the most common injuries are like people twisting ankles and things like that, hurting knees. Your fingers get beat up too because you're smacking a metal stick at somebody and then also getting hit in the hands.
Yeah.
But I mean that's not the end of the world. But yeah, like a lot of ACL tears and inverted ankles and
stuff. How long
stuff.
did you fence before, like growing up?
I just did like club fencing before it, so not that long. Like I thought I was going to try out for the golf team, but then I was doing intramural fencing, and that's how I tried out for the school's team, and just walked on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun though.
Did you ever win any championships?
Our school did have it. Our school's only NCAA championship was in fencing in like the 70s. So that was kind of cool, being on a team that had won a previous NCAA championship.
Did you guys make it to the NCAAs when you were there?
No. The talent pool, like probably the best fencing schools are, at least when I was fencing, was probably like Ohio State, Notre Dame, and some of the Ivy League schools.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
it's an Ivy League sport.
Yeah, like rowing or something like that. Yeah. It's like
Do you guys have rowing too at your school?
No. Detroit was. I don't want to say Detroit was landlocked, but relatively landlocked.
Frozen.
We have, we've got the Great Lakes and Lake St. Clair between us and Canada, but
yeah.
Relatively landlocked.
Yeah. Damn. Do you think your skills would be translatable in a war if we lost guns and everything? We had to use swords. Could you still wield a sword?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's like riding a bike.
Yeah. Do you ever see anybody get in a fist fight when they're fencing? Did tempers just flare?
Some people get pretty crazy. Honestly, it's usually not at the other players. It's usually people just yelling at the refs.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially let's say like the better players, that the better fencers that were in the Olympics and things like that. Like you'd see them just, I'd like to see like a mic'd up fencing meet.
Yeah.
Like they do in like the NFL or.
That'd be fun.
It'd actually be kind of hilarious.
That would be good. That would be good.
If you had to play a sport in college, what would you want to play?
Golf.
Yeah,
I'd like to be a college golfer. Or football in somewhere.
The cool thing about golf is like you just get to play golf every single day, and somebody else is paying for it.
That's a cool thing.
So like there's a lot of people that would want to do that just for that sake,
I think it would have been cool, man.
Plus, you'd get so good playing nonstop.
That's what helps.
Every single day.
A lot of golf to get good.
Good practice facilities, swing coaches.
Yeah. That would have helped a lot.
Okay, if you couldn't play golf, though, what would you play?
Football.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be a star football, running out in the Alabama field. Everybody cheering for me. Celebrating with that elephant mascot.
That elephant mascot.
Everybody loving me. Be awesome, man. Man, there's a dog barking.
I was going to say, I hear that dog barking.
You want us to go shut him up.
Nah,
you ever hear people, you think, does yelling at dogs work? Tell them to shut up? Do they understand that?
I think some do.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I think the ones that do understand it, though, are trying to get on your nerves, and they're just going to keep barking anyways.
Yeah.
And the ones that don't understand it are just scared that they're...
What if his owner's stuck in a well right now and we're just neglecting it?
Stuck in a well?
Where's he at? Really? TJ's stuck in a well? Where at? You go get him? He's talking. How many podcasts do you think are going on in Nashville right now?
Right now?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. I mean, only one that matters, but...
Yeah, Theo Vaughn's.
Theo Vaughn's probably filming right now. Who else?
That's it. Bussin' with the Boys.
Yeah. There's a handful of podcasts here, aren't there?
Yeah. They keep trying to collaborate with us, but I tell them no.
Yeah, we're too busy.
I had to do my own damn thing.
We haven't even posted something in about a month, so...
We've been too busy.
But we're getting back on it.
Yeah, too busy flying planes. Professional gambling. Professional golfing. Professional music writing.
Yeah.
And doctors on the side.
Yeah. Medicine's it's a great hobby.
It's a decent hobby. Learn a thing or two about the body.
Some physiology. Some disease processes.
Those sodium, potassium channels.
Those those IF funny calcium channels.
Yeah, funny calcium. It's the funniest calcium I ever heard, man.
It's funny how small the subset of people that exists that has any appreciation for
funny channels.
For funny channels, and how stupid of a comment that was.
All those people know about Okazaki fragments.
Oh yeah,
those are important. Figuring out what the spleen does. It's medical mystery, man.
Yeah.
Medical mystery. It gets big, it gets small.
The appendix. Yeah.
Yeah. Be curious to know what it does. I'd like to say it's our vestigial tail.
I mean, it's your gut's vestigial tail. I think there's some thought that it makes a little safe haven to harbor, good bacteria in the event that your gut microbiome gets wiped. I think that'll be one of the cool advances.
The bench.
Yeah, it's the bench.
Yeah.
It's it's like the practice squad.
You think we can make synthetic appendixes for people who've had theirs removed?
I don't think it's useful enough, and I don't think there's a big enough market for synthetic appendixes.
You don't think so? There goes my idea. I was going to start an
appendix company.
Yeah, appendix.
All we gotta do is get like 10 Harvard MBAs to back us, and then we just get a bunch of funding, and then we go public.
Yeah,
and then we leave.
Get some VCs. This is for your natural flora. Long are the days where you do fecal transplants orally.
Fecal transplants are just so much easier, though.
Mm-hmm.
Just eat a poop pill.
You get your buddy's poop. There's some nurses at the local hospital that would be fecal donors.
Do they pay well for being a fecal donor?
Yeah, decent.
Really?
$50 a shit.
That's awesome.
It's more than you get paid now.
Yeah.
You're just wasting your shit, Frank.
Yeah.
I bet you got some good flora. Smelt it. You got some good flora, man.
Well, you want to wrap it here? And
yeah, we'll wrap it up.
We'll see you in the next episode, probably sometime shortly.
Yeah, a couple days, so maybe a couple weeks. We'll see.
Yeah.
If there's any interest, we'll talk about something cool. See us on, donate us one of them thingamaroos.
We're up to like 50 subscribers now.
If we get 51, I'll eat my hat. You heard me.
Well, I guess that's it for today. And
y'all have a good one. Subscribe and like it.
Hit that bell icon. Smash that like button.
That's right.
Classic YouTube stuff.
That's it.
Zozo.